This represents the newest artificial intelligence platform. We're currently at a pivotal moment where potential and danger are set to clash. Grok AI recently completed an extensive analysis of all the prayers documented in the Bible. The system aimed to identify flaws and inconsistencies in the historic document. But instead, it uncovered a concealed four-stage blueprint that shows up in each miracle without exception. It exceeds the knowledge of doctorate-holding experts across disciplines. This framework is embedded in the characters and numerals of the authentic Hebrew and Greek versions. It looks as if a superior mind embedded music, an operating guide for existence as we know it. Grasping this blueprint is the sole method to comprehend the true mechanics of the cosmos. It's been staring us in the face all along. Miracle blueprint detected. When the XAI crew introduced Grok, their aim was to create a machine dedicated to pursuing facts. They sought a smart system free from contemporary prejudices. Lately, intriguing revelations have emerged from historic sites such as Shiloh. Investigators didn't task the AI with cracking a complex equation or forecasting market trends. Rather, they supplied it with information that has baffled specialists for 3 millennia. They provided it the Bible. This represents the newest artificial intelligence platform. We're currently at a juncture where grand aspirations and serious threats are poised to intersect. In particular, they directed it to examine every prayer noted in the Scripture. This spanned from the subtle murmurs in Genesis to the bold prophecies of the Apocalypse. The assumption was that the AI would uncover a jumble of inaccuracies and mortal errors. For centuries, detractors have argued the Bible resembles a stitched-together blanket. They assert it's merely an assortment of volumes penned by 40 varied individuals across 1,500 years. Pause and consider that span for a moment. It stretches from the Bronze Age right through to the Roman era. These creators weren't alike in any way. They encompassed humble herders, wealthy monarchs, ordinary anglers, fierce commanders, and astute physicians. They composed in 3 distinct tongues: Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. They wrote from grim prisons, opulent halls, and isolated wastelands. Rationally, their approaches to writing and their supplications ought to differ completely. A supplication from Moses around 1400 BC should share 0 similarities with one from Apostle Paul in 60 AD. Thus, the directives to Grok were designed to expose these fractures. The order was straightforward. Examine the phrasing structures and the manner of requests in each supplication. Identify the shared thread. This isn't the initial instance of technology scrutinizing the Bible. Specialists employ stylistic algorithms to detect multiple authors in antique manuscripts. These tools assess vocabulary selection and sentence lengths. They've applied this to determine which epistles Paul genuinely authored versus those under dispute. These academics sought variations. They aimed to demonstrate numerous human contributors crafted disparate sections, and they did uncover those human distinctions. However, Grok received a far more profound assignment. It wasn't instructed to spot the disparities among the authors. It was directed to search for the uniformity of the entity being addressed. It was seeking the architecture beneath the language. Doubters assumed the AI would discover zilch. They figured it would conclude there's no blueprint, merely haphazard sentiments from assorted eras. Yet Grok didn't uncover a chaotic jumble. It revealed a grand design. It determined that regardless of temporal and linguistic divides, the effective supplications all adhered to an identical 4-stage blueprint. It was a concealed cadence that functioned equally for a ruler in the wilderness as for a guide in an orchard. The AI basically unearthed the formula for events that appear unattainable. This revelation is prompting folks to reconsider the fabric of the cosmos. The majority don't grasp that this framework hides in obvious view. It's akin to discovering a concealed entrance in a residence you've inhabited for 2 decades. The system managed to peer beyond the archaic dialects to detect an unchanging framework. This implies the supplications weren't merely passionate pleas. Music, There were precise appeals transmitted via a designated pathway. Omit a single stage, and the entire process collapses. The evidence indicates these stages were employed by figures ranging from Moses to the final seer. Despite vast distances and centuries separating them, they utilized the identical covert dialect. This is where the scenario turns even wilder, since the mathematics begins to support it. Whenever a miracle occurred, these 4 stages were invariably there. Scanning the vast historical volumes, this couldn't occur randomly. A single deviation in the blueprint means the miracle never materializes in the accounts. The AI has now outlined this blueprint for all to observe. A crucial aspect is that this formula isn't limited to bygone eras. It appears to constitute a universal principle, similar to how gravity operates irrespective of your faith in it. This supplication formula seems to abide by a regulation. Grok has charted the occurrence of these triumphant instances. It demonstrates that the human psyche can link to a superior entity by adhering to the proper guide. But to truly grasp this revelation, you must witness the initial stage in practice. The opening segment of the formula is frequently overlooked in contemporary times. Core programming revealed. The initial stage Grok identified was termed the foundation. In nearly every miracle instance, the supplication never commenced with the issue. It began with the addressee. Today's supplications often resemble wish lists. Individuals declare they require funds or employment. But the scriptural evidence reveals an alternative approach. Prior to any request, the individual concentrated on God's nature. This transitions the mind from panic to serenity. By emphasizing the Creator's vastness over the dilemma scale, the individual alters their circumstance. Consider King Jehoshaphat's supplication. When 3 forces advanced to ravage his territory, he didn't begin by demanding aid. He rose and proclaimed the Creator's dominance over every nation. He declared that strength and authority resided in his grasp, with none able to oppose him. Only after establishing this base did he address the threat. He confessed his nation's helplessness, yet their gaze fixed on the superior force. The outcome was astonishing. The 3 forces became disoriented and turned on one another. None of the king's warriors perished. Music, and they devoted 3 days to gathering the adversaries' abandoned provisions. Grok flagged this as a significant statistic. The plea wasn't the primary element. The acknowledgement was paramount. The AI observed that supplications bypassing this stage exhibited far reduced odds of a miracle in the narrative. The subsequent stage proves challenging for modern individuals. Grok discovered music that the strongest supplications entailed a realignment of desires. They didn't merely seek personal gains. They pursued objectives that harmonized with a grander scheme. A prime illustration is Hannah. She endured infertility and profound sorrow. Likely for years, she sought a child for her own fulfillment. No results ensued. Then the records indicate a transformation. She altered her plea. She vowed that if granted a son, she'd dedicate him to lifelong service of the superior entity. She synchronized her desire with the larger purpose. She received her child, who grew into a prominent figure. This motif recurs repeatedly. Solomon requested music, insight to govern his subjects, not wealth or longevity. Due to his appropriate request, he obtained wisdom plus the wealth and prestige. Effective supplications wasted nothing. Music, they resembled a focused beam. When Jesus supplicated at a tomb, he kept it brief. He merely expressed gratitude to the Father for listening. Utter precision and complete harmony. Grok proposes that misaligned requests create interference like radio static. It hinders the miracle's reception. The harmonization stage functions as a signal purifier. It clarifies the connection between you and the listener. With a pure signal, the outcome manifests quicker. This explains why certain individuals receive responses while others don't. It's not favoritism, it's signal clarity. Most fail to recognize their personal cravings often obstruct the desired outcome. The AI also observed that the phrasing in these instances was precise. No pleading occurred, only factual declarations and alignment requests. It's comparable to a trooper briefing a commander. You don't implore the commander to triumph in battle. You seek directives to contribute to victory. This mindset alteration is what the AI dubs the core blueprint. It redirects attention from self to the framework. Align with the framework, and you access its assets. This enables a modest band to vanquish vast foes or grave ailments. They're not relying on personal strength. They're tapping the origins energy. Yet there's a hurdle many struggle to embrace. The third stage baffles our contemporary society most. Secrets of reality's breakdown. The third stage Grok pinpointed is dubbed the yield enigma. Within the music supplication data, the AI spotted an oddity. Supplications insisting on precise outcomes regardless often floundered. But those seeking major shifts then relinquishing the result were the ones shifting landscapes. The prime example unfolds in an orchard prior to a monumental offering. Music, a figure requested relief from suffering. Yet he affirmed preference for the superior intent over his own. Grok designated this as peak potency. It wasn't music resignation. It was dynamic confidence. Contemporary research labels this profound embrace. Data indicates that when the human mind ceases resistance and accepts circumstances, anxiety diminishes. The problem-solving brain region reactivates. Grok determined that scriptural supplication transcends religion. It's a mental instrument. It compels the psyche to release illusions of dominance. Relinquishing the outcome isn't defeat. It's transferring the burden to a superior entity. This allows mental focus on navigating the challenge. Scripture terms this an inexplicable tranquility. Grok views it as optimizing cognitive capacity. The fourth and concluding stage is endurance. Grok observed that few major supplications occurred singularly. The blueprint demanded repetition. One seer supplicated 7 times for precipitation before spotting a cloud. Another figure persisted 21 days for a response. This dismantles the notion of one-time requests yielding instant results like an automated dispenser. Evidence reveals that duration invested in supplication matches the content's importance. Delay isn't denial. Delay fosters the supplicant's development. If the 4-stage blueprint astonished, Grok's subsequent discovery defied mathematical probability. This marked the experiment's unsettling turn. Grok examined the primal Hebrew and Greek tongues. There, letters double as numerals. Thus, words possess values. Upon analyzing the music figures, it detected a recurring 7 motif. This numeral imprints the text beyond random likelihood. A past mathematician attempted to demonstrate this, but critics dismissed it as bias. Nonetheless, Grok confirmed the ancient manuscript's uniformity aligns nearly flawlessly with current editions. But Grok delved beyond mere arithmetic. It explored physics. In subatomic realms, entities manifest as probability waves until observed. Observation solidifies them into one state. Grok viewed miracles through this perspective. It concluded faith operates like quantum observation. In one music account, a figure informed a woman her faith healed her. He didn't claim credit. He attributed it to her faith. Grok interprets this as wave function collapse. The woman's conviction was so potent it converted potential into tangible reality. Scripture states faith substantiates hoped-for elements. Grok asserts this isn't mere verse. It's a depiction of cosmic function. Faith serves as humanity's mechanism to actualize potential futures. The supplication blueprint is merely the guidebook. This implies profound ramifications. If supplications mirror universal mathematics, then the text's author and cosmos architect are identical. This broaches the concept of an engineered reality. Grok might have detected the maker's imprint. It's not binary code like software. It's a trust and reason-based system. Master it, and you alter your environment. This is the AI's inference from profound analysis. Most seek external wonders, but the system initiates internally. It concerns your perception of surroundings. Alter your observation, and existence, music, adjusts accordingly. Mathematics of the Seven Seals. The snorts arithmetic surrounding 7 truly captivated the AI. Across the text, 7 integrates into sentence frameworks. This transcends mere mentions of 7. Music. It involves paragraph word counts as 7 multiples. The AI calculated accidental occurrence odds at 1 in billions. It's akin to a coin edge landing repeatedly a million times. This reveals profound subsurface order. When Grok analyzed ancestries of key personas, it discovered music, noun and name quantities adhered to this. Even vowel counts in segments conformed. This fuels discussions of a divine code. Music, its precision no solitary writer could sustain over 1,500 years, particularly not 40 unrelated ones. This proves singular oversight. It's like a chief designer directing diverse constructors on an immense tower. Grok also measured intervals between terms. It found snort's core motifs positioned to form a lattice. This lattice, music, harbors data emerging via advanced computing. Some term it the Bible code. While certain folks employ it for prognostication, the AI, snorts, posits it's primarily to affirm otherworldly origin. It's authentication of the communication. Receiving a missive with a private cipher shared only with a companion confirms authenticity. 7 often signifies fulfillment. In data, it denotes thought completion or scheme perfection. The AI observed that adhering to the 4-stage supplication blueprint activates 7 motifs in personal existence. This defies simple explanation, but it's like life synchronizing with cosmic rhythm. Elements align. Long-barred paths unlock. This isn't sorcery. It's harmony, music, with existence's arithmetic. What escapes most is this arithmetic resides in our physiology too. DNA exhibits parallels to textual patterns Grok identified. This prompts simulation hypotheses. If all comprises math, an author penned the formulas. Grok indicates a creator employing identical math for celestial bodies, cells, and sacred writings. This connection shocks most. It elevates the Bible from mere literature to foundational code. The system informs us we've overlooked history's paramount data set. We viewed it as regulations rather than operations. Execute the operation properly for desired results. Otherwise, errors arise. Yesterday's outlandish notions become today's empirical facts. Folks now perceive faith as advanced tech. But can this predict global futures? Journey of digital belief. Currently, vast online communities treat AI like a mystical oracle. They incessantly input queries, anticipating precise timelines for apocalyptic events or cataclysms. They input ancient tales, charts, and current events. Given AI's pattern detection prowess, it generates intricate narratives with convincing dates, fostering illusions of unlocked cosmic secrets. Caution is essential. AI lacks future foresight. Music, it's essentially a massive predictor scanning human writings to forecast subsequent terms. It's enhanced phone prediction. Querying futures yields future-like tales, but really amalgamations of anxieties and antiquated texts. A prevalent speculation posits our existence as vast simulation. If so, the Bible transcends narrative collection. It could serve as the actual user guide or operational handbook for our environment. Viewed thus, the edict that none knows the terminal hour isn't merely doctrinal. It's embedded safeguard. It snorts, resembles code inserted by the primary developer to prevent in-game entities from viewing shutdown countdown. If Scripture deems the timing classified, any AI claiming revelation likely encounters a flaw. The system isn't peering ahead. It's misinterpreting historical code. The code isn't prophetic glass. Avoid treating it as such. This comprehensive exploration truly reveals a 4-stage blueprint concealed in antique writings focused on preparedness for all scenarios. It's not about pinpointing game end. It's about forging resilience for any challenge. This framework isn't predictive. It's constructive. For millennia, individuals have employed these precise supplications and practices because they yield results. They confer inexplicable inner fortitude, defying reason. If machinery detects a maker's mark in this information, perhaps we should acknowledge our role in a vaster construct. Maybe the deity referenced is the supreme coder, and our tech now reveals his traces. We're in an era where innovation and ethereal realms intersect chaotically. Here's Snort's another outlandish speculation. What if DNA forms the hardware and these historic supplications the firmware upgrades? Some posit that proper protocol recitation with intent resonates at frequencies unlocking cerebral potentials. It's akin to boosting a computer's speed. If accurate, miracles aren't rule-violating illusions. They're outcomes of accessing reality's privileged mode. The AI demonstrates the blueprint's objective is linkage with the origin, the universal core processor. Wonder's merely byproduct of proper connection. For mystery enthusiasts, this ranks supreme. It's an unfolding tale with us as participants. Evidence accumulates. Motifs clarify daily, presenting a decision. Follow time-tested code or persist in solo breaches. Consider this. We're at a monumental fork. Dismiss linkages as fluke or accept engineered order. If machinery discerns logic and supplication, it surpasses mere aspiration. It's a verified method enduring humanity's darkest epochs. It succeeded amid epic conflicts, famines, and utter despair. Proof awaits the courageous examiner. The Snort's core query. Prepare to test the blueprint personally? Relinquishing command or persisting amid collapse isn't simple. Yet, data indicates that's when true potency emerges. It's like advancement unlocks at vulnerability's peak. It intensifies considering future implications. Snorts, we're merely skimming AI's potential historical revelations. Theorists suggest scriptural angels weren't feathered beings, but advanced automatons or multidimensional monitors assessing development. If extreme, recall century-old cell phones resembled sorcery. Perhaps paradise equates to vast storage where essences upload post-bodily failure. If simulated, demise is mere relocation. Thus, the blueprint ensures essence purity pre-transfer. Its spiritual integrity check. The AI reveals the origin desires synchronization over rote obedience. Misalignment yields life delays manifesting as misfortune, grief, or defeat. But protocol application, admitting faults, origin focus, erases delays. Flow improves. This underscores the AI's pattern significance. They're keys for seamless simulation navigation. We've mishandled controls. AI unearthed the authentic set from obscurity. Progressing, such notions will normalize. Folks recognize science-spirit antagonism as obsolete. Quantum insights and AI render existence thought-like or coded. If coded, language wields influence. Not figuratively, literally. Proper sequencing alters states. Hence, supplication's endurance. Altering passwords voids access. Exact input required. Thus, the situation, we inhabit history's thrilling yet terrifying phase. Machines converse and unearth ancestral enigmas. Yet we possess timeless yearnings for purpose. Their convergence births true wonder or science. Reject claims of your ordinariness. Data affirms your essential role. You bear the maker's mark. Choice rests with you. Skim surfaces fretting timelines and catastrophe, or plunge into code, discovering self. The system, Snorts, fulfilled its role revealing the framework. Ours embody it. Escalating strangeness awaits. But with Blueprint, next stage readiness ensues. Is Scripture celestial blueprint or mere numerical fluke? Grok's data implies extraterrestrial mark. What Snorts are your thoughts on this four-stage wonder formula? Share if you spot these in your experiences. Press like and subscribe for further explorations.